That's fire. Alright, that took way longer than I care to admit, but that's a loop done. Welcome to the video. I hope you're doing well. Let's do something else. So actually, that guitar loop took me 40 minutes because I kept trying to record and either my mic wasn't routed into the mixer or the mixer track wasn't to record, but we're gonna go do some exercise now. I need a cap on while I'm running because my hair is way too long. I want a haircut soon. But I can't because we're in lockdown. But anyway, we're gonna go for some exercise and then check back. Make some more music probably. Let's go. So it's hot and it's a little bit windy, so hopefully the audio isn't too bad, but we made it. Oh, you know, I hate running, but I love it at the same time. I don't know how many of you could relate. I would highly recommend, you don't have to run, but just getting outside and being in the sun, whether it's walking or running or skipping or crawling. It's a good idea, give it a go. Let's go back home. Hot. Alright, so we're back and it's about 3 o'clock. I have a exam in an hour and a half, so we're probably gonna go eat and then do that. But I find when you're producing or making anything, taking frequent breaks to help refresh your mind, resetting your ears, as they say. A helpful tip that I've found works well for me. That run was probably a bit longer than what you'd consider a short break, but nonetheless, it was a good time. Highly recommend. Like I said, even if you just go lay out in the sun, it's good for your health and well-being, so give that a go. So I'm gonna cook some chicken, I think, and do the exam. Let's go. Alright, so it's currently 4:30. I'm gonna do this exam. It's gonna take 60 minutes and there's 60 questions, so we gotta do a question a minute. Let's go. It's done, wasn't too bad. I'm gonna relax a little bit, charge this because it's going flat, and then make some music a bit later. The only way up is going down, I guess. So, changed my shirt because I realized I got spots of chicken sauce and stuff on my other one. I don't know if you saw in the last few clips or not, but what I'm gonna do now is I've just been watching these videos by Signal's music studio. It's this guy with the guitar. I'm not sure if you can see, but I've watched the videos on chords in the major and minor scale. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna make a few pages and stick on my wall of like scales, the notes in every scale, mainly the minor ones, because that's usually what I use, and the intervals and the Roman numerals and stuff. I'm gonna do it and then I'm gonna explain what each of them are. Alright, so basically I've been using this screenshot And as you may or may not know, there are 7 notes in a scale in both the major and minor scales. And of those 7 notes, you can have 7 chords, or 7 chords originating from each root note. In order to stay within the scale, meaning to create diatonic chords, you need to both have major, minor, and diminished chords, so that you're using the notes in the scale and building chords from those notes, if that makes sense. So as you can see here, in a minor scale, you denote each note in a minor scale to a number, and those numbers are represented by Roman numerals, and whether the chord of that number is major or minor is demonstrated by whether it's uppercase or lowercase. So uppercase means major, lowercase means minor. And in the minor scale, the order goes as follows. It goes minor, then diminished, then you have a major chord, then 2 minors followed by 2 majors, going 1 through 7. Now, below these are just the notes within each scale, which means in the A minor scale, if you want to play the 3rd chord in the A minor scale, the 3rd note in the A minor scale is C. And because it's the 3rd note in the minor scale, it will be a major chord, so you play a C major inside the A minor scale. And if you go to your keyboard or your piano, you'll notice that all the white notes is an A minor scale, and all the notes from a C major chord are on the white notes, and that's why it's a diatonic chord. And that's how you can figure out what chords are in which key, and you can start building progressions that sound good from that. And there are some little tips that I wrote down from the video. One of the tips was to use a lot of the 1, because issue with minor chord progressions is if you dilly-dally about too much, you end up confusing the listener, and your ear starts to hear the relative major key to the minor key that you're actually playing, and the 1 or the home of your key is going to shift. So your chord progression is going to sound whack, basically, if you don't give a proper frame of reference in your chord progression. So lots of 1, and apparently the 3rd chord, the 3rd major chord, if you play that too much, your ear will start to pick up on that a lot, and it'll change your frame of reference to that major key. Because the 3rd note in the A minor scale is C, and the relative scale, I'm not sure if that's the correct term, the relative scale or the relative key to A is C major. So C major and A minor use the exact same notes, so they're interchangeable in a way. And this goes for F minor and A flat major, and all the other scales that you can think of. The minor I've found is always 3 notes down from the major. So if you're in C major and you want to know what the minor scale, the relative minor scale of that major scale is, you go down 3 notes, and that is the root note of your minor scale. So if you're in C major, you go down 1, 2, 3 notes on your keyboard or piano or whatever you play on, and you'll end up on A. If you're on F sharp, you go down 3 notes, 1, 2, 3, and that's D sharp minor. So F sharp major and D sharp minor use the exact same notes. And that's something that I've found, just a tip. If you're a beginner to music theory, that'll help a lot, especially in music production when you're trying to identify what key you're in and what notes are going to sound good and whatnot. But getting back on track, this is super helpful when you're trying to write chord progressions, because if you don't use too much of the major 3rd, you use the 1, and you know which intervals resolve into the 1 the best, will help you write better chord progressions. So something else that I learned in the video, I knew that you could play notes and chords that are out of your scale, and the way that you do that I'm not quite sure of yet, still got to learn on it more. But something specifically to the minor scale is if you take the 5th, as you can see here it's lowercase, so it's a minor chord, but if you make that a major chord, so in the case of A minor, if you make the E minor an E major chord, it is what's known as a dominant 5th, and this dominant 5th resolves very well into the 1 or to home. And I can play an example of this. I'm gonna go on the piano roll hopefully so you can see the notes that I'm playing. So if we're in A minor, all the white notes, and as you can see, E minor is a triad starting from E, skips every other note, and you form a chord that way. But E major, which just moves the 3rd up 1 semitone, this G sharp or A flat isn't actually in the scale. But for reasons that are too complicated for me as of now, you can use this
chord in the A minor scale to have a nice resolution into the one. So if we play a chord progression, we just go 6, 5, 1, 6, dominant 5, 1. You can hear that that resolves very nicely. There's a lot of tension and release between those two chords, and that's just another tip that I found in that video. So I'm going to try and make a beat with a dominant 5 into a 1 in the chord progression. Alright, so this chord progression we have here is in E minor. We have the 1, the 6, the 7, and the dominant 5. This G sharp is not in the scale, so we're going to work with that. I'm going to invert the third, get a different voicing, and we'll duplicate this chord progression over so it loops. Dun, dun, dun. I'm actually going to transpose this out of A minor down to F sharp minor. Alright, I'm going to layer that with the pad. We got a basic idea down. I'm going to add some basic drums in. I'm going to place the piano with a different sound. Fire. Alright, I want to thank everyone for watching. If you like the video, subscribe if you want to see more content, hit the bell notification to be notified next time we post a video. I hope you found this video entertaining, useful, something. But yeah, that's gonna be it. I hope you're well wherever you're watching from in the world. Take it easy, stay safe, and I love you.